Let's just hope you're handy with a gun. Oh dear, you spelled your name with a 5. I bet you're going to be very popular in this colony. This one's so normal. You're a block of frozen meat, and I like you already. Finally, evidence of intelligent life in Halcyon. You're a block of frozen meat, and I like you already. A genius! And the board was going to leave you to rot. You could make a vicar doubt the law. I hope we haven't lost that silver tongue to frostbite.
A habilidade de diálogo melhora sua capacidade de conversar com NPC, tanto dentro quanto fora do combate. Para cada ponto de diálogo, aumenta significativamente a habilidade de persuasão, mentira e intimidação, até os 50 pontos. Após esse nível, você pode especializar adicionando pontos diretamente à habilidade de persuasão, mentira e intimidação. A unidade de persuasão usada para conversa também tem capacidade de infligir, tremer, medo paralisante quando você causa dano em um alvo humano pela primeira vez. Ah, massa. Mentira. A habilidade de mentira é usada em conversas e tem possibilidade de distorcer. Faz inimigos atacarem outros inimigos lentamente. Automecanoides que estejam te atacando. A habilidade de intimidação é usada em conversas e tem possibilidade de aterrorizar. Faz inimigos recuarem por alguns instantes. Criaturas próximas quando você mata uma delas. Vamos ver aqui. Hackear. Medicina a quantidade de cura fornecida pela nada de médico. Aumenta o dano causado de seus companheiros. Determinação. Habilidade de determinação aumenta a vida máxima de seus companheiros.
Ah, a fellow tinkerer.
Eu não vou consertar, não.
You wrote that paper on breeding a cystipig with 30% more tumors.
Peraí. Tem engenharia, arma longa, pesada. Tá aqui a arma longa, tem as pistolinhas, arma pesada, esquivar, né? Gazul que abre fechadura. Engenharia. Beleza, tiro na cabeça. Tá. Tem que ter uma persuasãozinha.
You could charm your way into Byzantium. You have an unnerving talent for reading people. You have an unnerving talent for reading people.
Primeira vez que joga o jogo, vamos...
Look at that! A real scientist! An intelligent colonist. I remember when we had those.
Lá, bota a ciência já no 40, ó, custo dos ajustes pela metade. Boa.
Your skills would have been wasted in a corporate lab.
Aptidão discernível. Nenhuma aptidão discernível. Vamos ver qual é. Técnico de serviço de bebida. A colônia de Banana precisa de boas pessoas, mas se contenta com aquelas que souberam fazer um drink memorável. Como coqueteleira humana, você fez misturas que poderiam acabar com guerras e abastecer marchas de salto. No entanto, você ainda está tentando equilibrar os sabores de um verdadeiro old fashion. Bônus de aptidão. Duração de efeito da bebida mais 3%. Bloqueio mais 1%. Persuasão. Caixa subclasse. Esse aqui eu... Bom, estou investindo bastante em persuasão. Nenhuma transação é concluída sem um sorriso. Você vive pelo barulho do cartucho de byte sendo inserido pelo resgate de ponto de fidelidade, pela promessa... vamos ver. Dano de choque, mais um de engenharia. Mais um de evasão. Dano de corrosão recebido. Inspiração, medicina. Ciência. Deixa eu dar uma olhadinha como é que tá minha ficha aqui. Precisava, deixa eu ver. Deve ter 40 de persuasão. Deixa eu ver onde eu posso botar esse ponto. Seu compartimento de mistura de hidrogênio inalador. Noção de fita hostil. Pá. Vou botar engenharia. Preciso pegar o nível 20 de engenharia, então vamos lá. Aptidão, engenharia, especialista operador de elevador.
Your career was on the rise.
Elevador descendo, ser especialista significa algo que você vamos lá. Homem, rosto. Sobrancelha. Ah, eu vou ficar mexendo muito em personagem não. Trocar só o cabelo dele, deixa ele bem básico. Deixa o cabelão branco, vamos ver. Quero cabelo branco. Não tem como deixar o cabelo branco não, que bosta. Chega um pouquinho de ruga. Deixa uma cicatrizinha na cara dele, vamos ver. O meu personagem esse é Gabriel. Avançar. Vamos ver como é que ficou a ficha. Acho que 45 de ciência, caraca. Engenharia 22. Mentira, Raquel. Vamos lá.
Looks to be your lucky day, my friend.
Pô, esqueci de colocar legenda, pô. Esqueci da legenda na cutscene.
Not likely, bootlickers. Initiate skip jump.
Structural integrity down 25%. Power levels down.
A bateria tá com... A nave tá com pouca bateria, não deu pra concluir a propulsão da velocidade da luz, vamos ver. Vou entrar no menu aqui pra botar a legenda aqui em português aqui.
Ah, there you are. Wondering what's going on, eh? Bit of bad news there, I'm afraid.
Tá falando que os tripulantes foram congelados.
And forced to complete its journey at sublight speeds. This means that you
Na
and
nave.
every other
E
colonist
ele
on
usou os
Earth
últimos
have been in
recursos
suspended animation
para
for
poder
70
tentar
years,
me
give or
deixar
take.
vivo, que eu fiquei
Normally,
vários anos
reviving someone after
preso.
so long leads to some quite horrifying results.
E
It's called explosive
ele usou os
cell
últimos
death,
recursos
but
para
it's
tentar
really more
me
of a
deixar vivo.
liquefaction.
E
Something wrong?
às vezes eu posso
Oh, yes.
ajudar ele
Not
a
to worry.
recuperar
I've pumped your
os
body full of a
recursos
special
da
concoction I devised
que
to
ele
keep you
gastou
from
para
dying
tentar me
so
deixar vivo.
horrifically.
Se fosse
Hopefully
me
at all,
morrer,
but,
eu já teria
I guess
morrido.
we'll see, yes? Unfortunately, I used the last of my chemical supplies saving you. I know it's a lot to ask, but I must have your help securing more if we're to save the rest of your fellow colonists. I'd see it done myself, of course, but the board has a sizable bounty on my head. Now, my ship is inoperative, but I've managed to hire a smuggler to help you out. He'll be... Oh, I see we're in position. Good luck.
Pra mim tudo é novidade também, é a primeira vez que eu tô jogando o jogo, galera. Então, pra mim também é novidade, vamos ver. Acho legal aquela parada meio que anos 50, anos 60, aquele parada bem old school mesmo. Só que para congelar aquilo passou não sei quantos anos e a galera veio, só que tá tudo nas antigas.
Can you hear me?
Is this thing working? Ah, there you are. Now, where were we? Oh, yes.
Isso, o nome dele é Halton.
His name is
Ele
Hawthorne,
deve estar
and he should be waiting
esperando
for
por
you at
você
the
no
landing
local do
site.
pouso.
He's to be your chauffeur. So
Ele vai ser seu
Not to
chofé,
worry.
por assim
I'm
dizer.
told he's a
Não se
special
preocupe. Pelo que me disseram, ele é um especialista, arrojado, hábil com armas, uma nave como nenhuma
I've also
outra.
outfitted you with a
Também te
simple
equipei com um
wireless
monitor
monitor, so I
sem
can
fio
track
para
your
poder
progress.
acompanhar seu
I'll check in with
progresso.
you
Falo
as soon
contigo
as you land.
assim que pousar.
Good luck.
Boa sorte. Eu e todos os colonos
colonists
contamos
are counting
com
on you.
você. O planeta é Terra 2, é um planeta numa galáxia aí quase como a Terra,
You've landed. Good.
que nós vamos tentar colonizar.
Hawthorne should be close by.
Não é uma Terra, mas é o que chegou mais perto da
Is that
Terra.
him? Oh, that idiot. I
Jogo
told
bem
him to plant
colorido,
the beacon
lembra
and
muito
move
No Man's
away,
Sky.
not stand there holding it. Oh well, no sense in letting his ship go to waste.
Vamos
Hawthorne
ver.
won't mind you taking his ship. Better you than the board, huh?
Gráfico bonito, não é aquele gráfico realista, mas é um gráfico bonito. Vamos ver o inventário do personagem. Fiz um personagem bem feio mesmo, de qualquer forma. Não fiquei lá mexendo em personagem, que demora pra caramba e eu tô fazendo live, aí é foda. Mas vamos lá. Gerenciamento de armadura balística. Ah, segurar, sim. Ah, tá. Talentos que eu tenho que ganhar ainda. Bem devagar que é a primeira vez, galera, então eu tô meio perdido aqui, então eu tô ação, vamos ver, eu botei minha persuasão bastante alta. Vou subir a reputação logo.
Bounty on my head. Shame about the whole squashing thing. Nasty way to go.
Fiz um personagem pensando em um jogo com bastante conversa. A gravidade parece que é maior do que a da Terra. Se dá um pulo, o pulo dele é maior. Lembrando aqui que eu tô jogando no PlayStation 4 Pro. O gráfico tá bastante bonito. Seguro quadrado para poder pegar os itens. Bolinha para baixar. Isso para pular. E já me viram.
Easy now. You've been frozen for a while. There's bound to be unforeseen side effects.
Será que eu cair lá no morro, não? Nossa, perdi metade do sangue. Ah, mas é pra ensinar a usar Um tutorial para ensinar a usar o sangue. Ah, legal. L1 para usar o sangue. Cheguei nas moambas. Aí, vamos ver se tem alguma coisa para pegar.
You've tried the best now. Now try the rest. Spacer's choice. Oh, wow, that stings.
Agora experimente todo o resto. Primidos especiais. Ó, pela lei isso machuca. Vamos conversar um pouquinho com ele. Não, vou curar ele. Vou perguntar pra ele.
We were out on patrol. I saw a marauder camp up in the hills. Thought I could take him. Then my gun misfired right through my side. I mean, what are the odds of that, right? Just barely scraped by with my life. Crawled in here and blocked off the exit with those canisters.
Saída com umas latas.
Gibbering, flesh-eating, law-breaking, unemployed lunatics with guns. Some hullhead grounded their spacecraft out in the open. That's a real good way to attract marauders. See those canisters by the entrance? Marauders come sniffing around in here, and I can take them all out with a single shot. Not bad, huh?
Nada mal, hein? Ah lá, ó. Fazendo a quest, ó. Tá vendo essas latas da entrada? Se os saqueadores vierem aqui em busca de suprimentos, eu consigo derrubar todos em um único tiro. Nada mal, hein? Eu posso persuadir. Tenho uma ideia melhor. Me dê sua arma e eu vou buscar ajuda. Eu posso mentir. Alguém pousou a nave ilegalmente? Eu posso caçar um criminoso para você. E eu posso intimidar. Você é um idiota. Me dê sua arma ou vai acabar se matando. Vou persuadir ele. Jogar na lábia.
Yeah, okay. You look like you know your way around a gun. Got some spare ammo, not counting the bullet in my side. All Spacer's choice weapons are now 30% less likely to malfunction. You've tried the best, now try the rest. Spacer's choice. Yes, nailed it that time.
Vou conversar mais com ele. Pode me dizer
You hit your head or something? You're in Emerald Vale. We're a Spacer's Choice community. Edgewater's a little ways down. Prettiest place in the Vale. Be sure to stop by a provisioner's for a can of our famous salt tuna. The Hope? Is that some sort of fancy new drug? Are you with Auntie Cleo or something? Don't take this the wrong way or nothing, but I'm not allowed to fraternize with Cleo workers. Company policy.
Partiu. Já ganhei uma arminha já. Vou explodir esses baús então. A jogabilidade parece que é bem fluida, ó. Roda redondinha, hein? Não tem queda de quadro, pelo menos até agora, né?
Damn it, my ears! Oh, what just happened? Can you hear me? What in the hell? This...
Dilatação temporal. Devido às complicações decorrentes de reviver após uma hibernação prolongada, seu cérebro processa o tempo de maneira diferente. Apertar o botão da dilatação temporal tática desacelera o mundo, dando a você tempo para pensar e agir. Esse modo tem um tempo limitado, fica imóvel, drena seu medidor de dilatação temporal muito lentamente, enquanto o movimento e ataques fazem com que ele esgote mais rápido. O medidor de dilatação temporal é reabastecido com o tempo. R1 é dilatação temporal tática. Dá tipo um slow motion para mim pegar os pontos fracos, tipo eu quero dar um headshot, eu quero dar um tiro na perna, quero dar um tiro no braço e vamos lá. Tô gostando. O jogo começou agora, mas o que eu posso falar é que eu tô gostando. Criei um personagem pra mim todo baseado em persuasão, pra ir só na lábia. Primeiro inimigo eu já chego metendo bala. Eu sou um animal, em vez de eu atirar no barril, né? Vamos pegar essas frutinhas. Hackear. Ah, agora sim. Hackear e arrombamento. Suas habilidades hack e gazua lhe ajudam a chegar em lugares onde você não deveria estar. Gazuas magnéticas são usadas para arrombar cadeados e desvios de bipes. São usados para quebrar criptografia de computadores. Caso sua habilidade seja alta o suficiente para violar a segurança, você verá a quantidade de gazuas magnéticas ou desvios que você precisa, quanto tempo levará. Aumentar sua habilidade diminuirá o tempo de itens usados e acelerar o tempo de processo. Vamos lá, galera. Nossa, adoro joguinho de farmar aí, tem que vai lá, constrói, farma, constrói, eu curto bastante, eu acho que eu acertei no jogo. Falta mais 2 itenzinhos aqui pra mim. Não preciso de 5 gazuas. Vamos lá, então vamos na captura. Aqui nem toca que o meu personagem não é muito bom de tiro não. Gostoso, gostei de jogar o jogo. Eu só comecei a jogar o jogo e já gostei. Parabéns. Matar na facão. Matar na faca, malandro. Vem. Na faca. Tia Clau, melhoria de habilidade. Toda vez que sobe de nível, você ganha pontos de habilidade para gastar na melhoria de suas habilidades. Gastar pontos de habilidades em uma habilidade base, que é armas brancas, aumenta o nível de todas as habilidades especializadas no grupo até 50. Após esse nível, é possível adicionar pontos diretamente a habilidades especializadas até 100. Toda habilidade melhora à medida que cresce, mas os bônus especiais de desbloqueio ocorrem a cada 20 pontos. Leia a descrição de cada habilidade para ver quais são. Armaduras, consumíveis e efeitos de condição podem elevar e diminuir temporariamente suas habilidades. Isso ajuda ou prejudica as verificações de habilidades e seus bônus passivos, mas não dá ou tira desbloqueios de habilidades. Trabalho diligentemente e se desenvolva como pessoa, e você também pode alcançar a média gerência. Vamos lá, pontos disponíveis. Opa, não, me botei errado. Não tem como reverter. Reverter tudo isso. Tenho 10 pontinhos. Desbloqueio efeitos de acerto direcionado. 2 pontinhos aqui. Vou botar mais 2 aqui para completar em medicina. Habilidade de companheiro, você pode ordenar o companheiro para assaltar. Você pode dar 20% de proteção, dano crítico de companheiro. Na hora você companheiro, mas eles recebem 30% do efeito da cura. Inalador cura você e seus companheiros, mas eles recebem 30% do efeito da cura. Habilidade de companheiro, você pode ordenar que o companheiro faça ataques especiais. Mais 6 pontos. Desbloqueio. Distorcer. 15% de chance de automecanoides lentamente atacarem os inimigos. Beleza, não. O que são os elevador? Como consertar a minha armadura, isso. 20% de chance de ser uma modificação base. 20% Dar uma investida em que mesmo? Vamos ver, peraí. Aqui é medicina, ciência. Logo alcance. Investir em tecnologia aqui para extrair os itens, com engenharia. Ciência já vai custar metade do preço dos ajustes. Vamos botar aqui. Vamos lá, vamos descer o cacete, porque eu tô passando level 2 e tô aqui agarrado aqui. Vamos ver aqui. Seminário de Gestão Especializado da Tia Clau. Selecionando talentos. Bem-vindo à seleção de talentos. Nessa tela, você pode escolher quais talentos comprar com seus pontos de talento. Você recebe um ponto de talento novo a cada 2 níveis. Também é possível adquirir pontos de talento durante o jogo, como ao aceitar um defeito. Adquirir 5 novos talentos torna o próximo patamar de talento disponível para você. A tia quer que você dê o seu melhor para ela poder dar o melhor dela para você. Vamos lá, tia. Vamos botar aqui, ó. 50% XP por abate por companheiro. Eu tenho estoque adicional de munição em vendedores, estoque adicional de vendedores. Chega, Pedro, 15% de chance de crítico do companheiro. Você recebe proteção básica que soma qualquer armador. Você recebe proteção básica, capacidade de carga. 50% taxa de recarga da dilatação. Seu medidor de dilatação temporal tática é recarregado mais depressa. Desbloqueia a capacidade. Viagem rápida com sobrecarga. Você ficou muito eficiente no transporte de mercadorias. Talvez devesse ter nascido com transportador de carga. Demonstração de aumentar 50%. Vou botar esse aqui. Da XP, né? Aí fica mais fácil de usar. Beleza. Detalhes. Vamos ver. Você pode viajar rapidamente para locais que desbloqueou, abrindo o mapa e selecionando seu destino.
Please be informed that this vessel contains no valuable plunder.
Vamos conhecer a minha nave.
All doors are on security lockdown. Nice try, Marauder.
Boa tentativa, saqueador. Vamos lá.
Marauder, please be informed the ship has no crew for you to murder.
Encontra a nave de Hawthorne. Achei. Tem que achar. Primeira missão do jogo. Achei a nave de Hawthorne. Achei a nave desse safado.
Please be advised that using the respecification machine will not make you a better person.
Especialização não vai fazer uma pessoa.
Back away from the navigation. Hello. Please be informed that I am authorized to use violent retribution against unwanted solicitors. Please return any misappropriated equipment and exit this vessel in an orderly fashion. Failure to do so will result in your immediate destruction. I detect an elevated heart rate, indicating dishonesty. Please prepare yourself for lethal deterrence. Jettison procedures initiated. Disengaging airlocks. Preparing to eject all boarding parties in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are still here. My deception protocols have failed. I have been programmed to express disappointment. This vessel is the registered property of Captain Alex Hawthorne. I am incapable of accepting orders from anyone other than Captain Alex Hawthorne. I understand. I will require some time to process this information. Thank you for your patience and for your honesty. I am programmed to take orders exclusively from Captain Hawthorne. If I accept your orders, then you must be Captain Hawthorne. Do you understand? Well done, Captain Hawthorne. I see your powers of deductive reasoning remain intact. Unfortunately, our engine is currently inoperable. Our main drive suffered a critical power failure, and we were forced to make an emergency landing. The main drive's power regulator has been irreparably damaged and must be
sem
replaced.
possibilidade de reparo e precisa ser trocado. Eu sou engenheiro. Onde eu acho Engenharia 5, como eu tenho. Duvido que encontre a peça dessa.
Astutely observed. However, the probability
de
of
encontrar
locating a power
regulador de
regulator within a worker
energia
settlement
em um
falls
assentamento
within
dos
acceptable
trabalhadores
parameters
corresponde
of
a parâmetros
certainty.
aceitáveis
High
de
capacity
certeza.
power
Às vezes,
regulators are
reguladores de
sometimes
energia de
employed
alta
in the
capacidade
electrical
são
networks
empregados
of
nas
worker
redes
settlements.
elétricas
I
de
have taken the
assentamento.
liberty of
Tomei a
printing you
liberdade de
a new
imprimir um novo
captain's
cartucho de
identity
identificação do
cartridge.
capitão para você.
Please
Por
try not to
favor,
lose it this
tente não
time.
perdê-lo dessa
This
vez.
cartridge identifies you,
Esse cartucho identifica
Alex
você,
Hawthorne,
Alex
as the
Hawthorne, como
registered
propriedade,
proprietor
que é o
and captain
capitão
of the
registrado,
Unreliable.
falível, com
Do you understand? Thank you. I appreciate your cooperation. Best of luck in your search for
Boa
a
sorte
power
sua busca
regulator.
por um regulador de
Try to stay
energia.
alive this time.
Procure ficar vivo dessa vez. Vamos lá achar o negocinho que ela tá querendo. Consertar na área.
I'll be with you, friend. I'm Ernie from the Spacer's Choice Department of Human
Recursos
Resources.
humanos para
Town sent me hereabouts to
a
check on the
cidade me enviou
guards.
para checar os guardas.
Now, seems to
Agora, minha
me,
impressão,
and
corrija-me
correct
se
me
eu
if I'm
estiver
wrong
errado,
here, but
é que eles estão
seems to
todos
me
mortos.
they're all
Se
dead.
importa em me contar
Mind
como
telling
que
me what happened
aconteceu
here?
aqui?
Altercation, you say? Yeah, shame as that goes. Spacer's choice policy strictly prohibits dying during work hours. Guess I'd better get to cleaning up. Can't just leave company property scattered about, bleeding out on the dirt. No can do, friend. That armor's Spacer's choice property. Bodies, too. Living or otherwise. Company policy, you see. You don't want to amble on over to Edgewater at your earliest convenience. Constable's office might have work for someone with your, let's just say, aggressive disposition. Oh, and be sure to stop by the Edgewater Provisioner for a can of salt tuna. It's not the best choice. It's Spacer's choice. Don't get paid bits to chat with strangers. You want to chew the rag, go talk to Silas over by the cemetery.
Se quiser bater papo, falar Silas no cemitério.
Whoa, hey, where'd you come from?
grease monkey. Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself. You were saying, Miss Holcomb.
It's just what Bess needs is a proper refurbish. I can bandage her up and what all, but she's just old. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'll do better.
And I do wish you'd stop referring to our cannery as Bess. Personification of company property is strictly contrary to the Spacer's Choice Code of Conduct. My apologies. I am not in the habit of allowing my guests to witness such a row. Now, what can I do for you? I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform. Of course not. I don't have that kind of luck. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process. Oh, yes. Saw someone put his hands on a regulator while the power was running. His legs were still twitching when we buried him. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way. The geothermal plant was built by our owners, Spacer's Choice. Lit up the whole Vale once upon a time. Most of the Vale is now abandoned. All that power is going to waste. We could use the power. Cannery's been struggling. If we don't ramp up productivity, the company might cut us loose. I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there. No. I do not imagine they will be pleased. But like a parent disciplining an unruly child, you will be doing them a kindness. The people living in the botanical labs, they're deserters, former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home. Edgewater is struggling. We haven't hit our production quota in years. If we don't meet our quotas this year, the company might shut us down for good. I need those workers back at their stations.
Que cara filho da puta. Opa, posso falar besteira não, senão o YouTube vai banir o vídeo. Tira do ar. Se não cumprimentamos nossa conta esse ano, a empresa pode desligar de vez. Precisamos daqueles trabalhadores de volta. Não sei se eu fico do lado desse cara. Mas vamos lá.
My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town. Adelaide's older than the other deserters. She's dignified, kindly. From what I understand, her camp looks to her for leadership. That reason was me. I asked too much and pushed too hard. But I am ready to make amends if they are willing to return to the fold. We belong to one community. The Spacer's Choice family. If we dissolve into factions, then we will all perish separately. Adelaide will understand that.
My dad told me all about the plant. Taught me all he knew. I could come in useful. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented and may prove useful to you. You will need an administrative passcode in order to enter the plant. I am trusting you with mine, and trusting Miss Holcomb to guide you if you'd like.
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know.
Companheiros, você ganhou um companheiro. Esse personagem junta-se às aventuras e ajudam você com diversas formas. Companheiros ajudam em combates, as habilidades deles melhoram as suas, eles aumentam sua capacidade de carga. Você pode desbloquear habilidades especiais dos companheiros em combate e habilidade de inspiração. Saiba mais sobre seus companheiros no menu Companheiros.
If you... Go ahead. Adelaide was our only flavor specialist. We are a Saltuna canning institution. Saltuna without flavor is like a cysty pig without tumors, borderline inedible. Were it up to me, friend, I'd stack our larders with Saltuna galore. No other brand of Saltuna adds as much vim or vigor to the body's humors. But, and this is something we must keep between the two of us, Saltuna is hard to come by, what with being a species indigenous to the seas of another world. You mean you don't know? Why, Monarch, of course. Spacer's Choice ran a mighty fishing enterprise on that world. As it so turns out, Saltuna do not take as readily to the waters of Terra 2. Scrawnier than their monarch cousins. Forces us to pack our cans with additives, you see. Oh, we've scavenged together some organic material from the surrounding environs. Mostly organic, mostly local mushrooms. Some of which possess a texture akin to a well-boiled slab of Saltuna. The difference is all but impossible to detect to any but the prissiest of palate. Go ahead. That you are not one of us may work to your advantage. Adelaide and her folk loathe the people of Edgewater, you see. I admit the fault was mine. I'm about as diplomatic as a bristling canid. I just hope Adelaide and her folk will see their way past my flaws and return to town. I must. The burden of leadership is responsibility. If my workers walked out on Edgewater, then I have failed them. Yes, we have lost good workers to desertion. We have lost even more to plague. But it is why we must square our shoulders and carry on. Go ahead. It is my job to keep 2 eyes on my town. I am the steward of this place, and this is my watch post. I'm trying to remember 25 years, 26. When you get to my age, the years just rush by. You stop counting altogether.
Eu tô muito focado em ação desse jogo por enquanto não. Tanto que eu criei um personagem mais focado em persuasão. Eu quero ver as conversas, as variações.
But the veil will always be here. Spacer's choice will always be here. Our work won't ever end. I take comfort in that. I wish you wouldn't say things like that. Yes, as a matter of fact. When I stand at my window and look out over my town, here's what I see. I see decent, loyal, hard-working people. I see a family. We are all part of the Spacer's Choice family. We are all doing what we were brought into this world to do. This is a Spacer's Choice town. We're all part of the Spacer's Choice family here. The company keeps us warm, keeps us fed, keeps us working. Loyalty's got nothing to do with it, friend. This is good old-fashioned gratitude. Go ahead.
Mais alguma coisa a perguntar? Vamos ver. Não, vambora.
Got my sights on you.
We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk.
Como é que faz pra equipar? No inimigo.
heading back. Hey, mister, can we talk? Can we talk?
Tipo de RPG que você anda, roda tudo, sem pressa, é o que eu tava procurando.
It's just, Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters, on account of it's his job and what all, but that's not the only side of the tale. Oh, he ain't a liar. He believes every word he says. It's just, he doesn't always get where other folk are talking from. To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them before they left. Miss McDevitt? Oh, gosh, no. She was a real important person. A flavorist. Made all the food taste decent. She used to work up in the big office with Mr. Thompson. All I know is she left after her son died. It was a real big to-do. I could hear them both yelling clear from my own place. Can't say as I know. I wasn't there. The sound carried, but not the words. If Mr. Thompson ain't of a mind to tell you his own self, you'd best ask Miss McDevitt, if you can get out to her. I don't know anybody well. I mostly listen to them talk, get my head down. There was a boy named Thomas who used to follow me around, asking questions about the stuff I fixed. He was real sweet to me. Not any sort of dissident. Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights to see, nor heat to cook. They'll be at the mercy of marauders, or worse. It don't seem right to me, mister. I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is. About if what Mr. Thompson proposes to do is upright. Leaving Miss McDevitt's folk to their fate. Their neighbors. Kin. And maybe he can think of something else to try. Something we ain't. He used to go walking outside town. Maybe he found something that'll help. It's just an idea. That's all. The mission's on the east side of town. You can't miss it. On account of it being the only clean thing. Thanks, mister. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, it's best to think on the right and wrong of it. That's what my dad used to say anyways.
Tô adorando o jogo, hein? Só comecei. Eu tô igual do NPC para que esse cristal. Tô adorando, é um jogo. Joguei pouquinho, mas já deu pra ver que é maneiro. Se puder ter um dinheirinho sobrando aí, ou querer comprar um joguinho de RPG bom, recomendo.
I've always felt weird in here. It's too clean.
And Ms. Holcomb as well. How rare to see you out. And with a complete stranger. Curious.
Just tagging along, Vicar DeSoto. Don't mind me.
I so rarely get new people to talk to. Name your poison, anything at all. Spiritual counseling, this season's tossball predictions, the quickest way out of town. Not to put too fine a point on it, but your choice of wardrobe is not precisely common hereabouts. Also, you lack the distinctive worker gaze. Usually either a deadening behind the eyes, or in some rare cases, a wild-eyed frenzy, like a trapped animal. Pretty universal here. Except for Ms. Holcomb, who, for some reason, doesn't seem to have much to say to me. Isn't that right?
It's just... there's more to it all than numbers. Sorry.
Aumentei um pouquinho essa legenda aí. Por causa disso.
What would you like to discuss?
Com ele, não.
They who are not satisfied with their work are satisfied with nothing. No. How about, work fortifies the spirit. True exhaustion awaits idle hands. The OSI teaches that the Grand Architect set a perfect system in motion at the beginning of time. Contentment is found by accepting one's role in that grand plan. The Order of Scientific Inquiry, also known as scientism to the layperson.
Religião do malandro, baseado em ciência.
You don't talk to the Grand Architect. Once the universe was set in motion, it stepped back. It has no concern for us. We will eventually decode the plan and all its intricacies. Once we are able to deduce the properties of every particle in the universe and its trajectory, we will know everything. The future, the past, each person's place within the plan, all will be laid out before us, removing struggle and bringing peace. No one will ever need question their path again. Some even believe this ultimate knowledge will unlock mankind's true potential, and we will all become akin to Grand Architects ourselves, after a fashion. Well, first there's the matter of the secret blood rites and animal sacrifices. I'm kidding. Seriously, though, to truly understand the metaphysics involved takes years of study and contemplation.
But what? I thought you would talk to him.
You wanted to speak to me, Ms. Holcomb? Every time I've tried to engage you in conversation, you look at the floor, answer in single words, and slink away. I can't imagine what would be so grave as to drive her to my mission. What has Mr. Thompson asked her to do? That seems well within your expertise.
The way we do it's by cutting off power to the others. The ones who left.
Adelaide McDevitt's encampment. I can see why that troubles you. Miss Holcomb has a soft heart. Always has, if you believe the talk. They rejected the order of society and live beyond the walls so thoughtfully provided by our Spacer's Choice patrons. Does that strike you as a responsible life choice? Astute. But I am here, not in the deserter camp. So that's not a variable I can account for. Assuming your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring everyone together. Send the power to Edgewater and convince the deserters to return to the fold. Not if things are left to stand as they are. If you don't mind a bit of unsolicited advice, be cautious on your way to the geothermal plant. It is not as safe as you might assume. One of the reasons I transferred here was to fulfill my duty in hunting down banned heretical texts. I happen to know such a book is, as we speak, tainting a collector's library in Emerald Vale. However, the collector's residence lies outside the town's walls. My retrieval efforts have been thwarted by marauders who have overrun the property. Should you fare better than me, I'd pay a handsome sum for the book. It's a handwritten journal, a faded blue cover with the name M. Bakonu handwritten in the lower corner. I'll mark where I saw it on your map. Assuming you're serious? It is not only a beautiful relic of a bygone time, it's also the thoughts of an early thinker on the nature of man's place in the cosmos. Not many in this colony could understand its true value, should they ever read it. Thank you. If you retrieve it, you can always find me here.
When I was little, we'd get freighters in every Sunday noon. Now they only come but once a month. I love the wind here.
Sorry, I'll just be a minute.
You had a minute. Next one comes out of your pay.
Ease off the threats, friend.
Boss's orders. We all got force
I don't have time for this.
Got my sights on you.
Okay, moving out. Sure thing.
You some sort of freelancer? Don't make me report you to Mr. Thompson.
fui querer dar de samurai ali com o facãozinho e não deu não. Nossa, caralho, 1h40 da manhã já. Nossa, tem que dormir daqui a pouco. Vou jogar só mais 10 minutos. Ó, jogar assim. Quem puder comprar, compra aqui, ó. Eu agradeço, aproveitar a Black Friday aí, 2019 agora, né? Hoje, dia 22 de novembro, eu aproveitei a Black Friday aqui, comprei um descontinho, o preço cheio dele tá 249. Aí na promoção da Black Friday tá 187.
Thank the law. I've been requisitioning backup for months. Guess the boss finally came to his senses. You ever swung a truncheon? Let me see your rifling stance. I want to make sure you're up to snuff. The war! The coming apocalypse! Man versus machine! I'm talking about mechanical soldier. Cold, heartless automatons made of iron and lies. That's right. That's what I've been saying. We gotta square our shoulders and stand ever vigilant. Auto-mechanicals. Creatures forged in the fires of malevolence. I seen them over by the old power plant, clattering about, firing at the birds, orchestrating their uprising. When the swarms of mechanicals come clanging on over that hill, where will you be? Cowering beneath your cot? Or standing, shoulder to shoulder with the resistance? Go on. I'm Ludwig Miller, Associate Security Officer for Transportation. Officially, unofficially, strictly between you and me, I am the only thing standing between Edgewater and total annihilation. I've been gathering up a war chest over the years. Saw tuna cans, some spacer's chaw. Few hits. I'll reward you for your aid. Enlistment fees. Yeah, I suppose. Wouldn't want to give the Resistance a bad name. They have sent a scout, prowling around the junkyard just behind our beloved town. This scout must not be permitted to return to its base of operations. Cross it off, then report back. Mechanical's got a weak spot in their midsections. I think the technical term is, the blue glowy square thing.
Salvamento manual. Beleza. Conversar de novo com ele, vamos ver se tem outra conversa. Vamos ver.
Bring us honor, soldier. Go on.
Não, esse aqui não. Vou fechar a conversa. E vamos descer do cacete. Level 3 ainda, comecinho do jogo. Vamos lá, né, galera?
Not a peep for me.
Pô, se eu fosse construir um boneco agora, eu ia botar ele em arma branca, eu ia dar uma moral pra ele. Mas vamos na bala. Só tem 6 tiros.
Here we go! Nice hit! Who did it?
A menininha tá batendo pra caralho.
one! Nice hit!
Acabou a munição, caralho.
Everyone all right?
Ah, menininho dá uma moral mesmo, hein?
That's on account of how I never met her. I don't rightly know. She was in another division of the Spacer's Choice family. She worked in the Vale a few months, sorting the cannery computers. Her contract said any kids she had, expected or not, belonged to her office from the time of conception. So when I was born, I got sent here. Well, I don't know about normal. Dad said she worked under some kind of special contract. It's sensible. Dad just fixed machines. She did some kind of crazy math, high-level stuff. Better to raise me on his time than hers. You mean about the mission being too clean? I know, but Vicker says the universe is a machine, that it runs by law. Real machines have gunked up oil, scratches, and worn bits. You can tell they've seen handling, been used by folk. The machine Vickers sees is one ain't never been run. It's not for people to live in. It's something on a museum shelf, under glass. Fixing the universe is a job for somebody way better than the likes of me.
Eu quero conversar mais.
Yeah.
Ah, não dá, caralho. Vacilei. Habilidade de tecnologia. Habilidade de ciência aumenta o dano das armas de plasma e de choque. Ciência também melhora efeitos especiais de armas científicas. Uma habilidade de ciência mais alta desbloqueia a capacidade de ajustar qualquer arma ou armadura na bancada, aumentando o poder dela. E2 aqui. Habilidade do companheiro, você pode ordenar ao companheiro que faça ataque especial. O inalador cura você e seu companheiro, mas ele recebe 30% do efeito da cura. Vamos ver. Preciso melhorar minha distorção, então. Deixa eu ver como é que ia ficar. Não, duração da distorção, 7 segundos. As criaturas estão de 10 segundos para você matar um. Furtividade, esgueira. Ataque surpresa de inimigo sem que ele pressione o companheiro. Fala. Se você chuta na pele dela.
Move along, stranger. We don't want any trouble. Whatever you're looking for, it ain't here. Move along. Answers, huh? You must be one of those philosophicals. Already got ourselves one of those. A geo what? Look, plants ain't my purview. You're better off asking after Adelaide. If you're gonna start wandering around my camp, know that I got my sights on you. Over in the hothouse, tending crop. Enough with the questions. No offense, but I've got a lot on my mind. Explains why you're still yammering on at me. No, I'm sorry. That was unworthy of me. Lady named Zoe went missing some nights ago. Just up and vanished without a trace. Now I'm pacing around wondering if marauders got to her. I've crossed off my share of marauders. This ain't about them. I go looking for Zoe, I leave the camp undefended, seeing as I'm the only one of us who knows her way around a gun. Hence my dilemma. Vex me. If she told anybody, they ain't telling me. I'd check her room, but I got yelled at for snooping once already. Little ways ago, she was always obsessing over her serial dramas. Wanted to see what the fuss was about. Could be. Dangers aplenty out there. No telling why marauders would steal somebody like Zoe. Got no useful skill as far as I could tell. Marauder gang just moved into the districts a little ways east. Their numbers are growing. Gotta come from somewhere. Well, enough to know we never got on. Zoe and Stefan were close. If anybody knows the workings of her mind, he does. She was lazy and thoughtless, but she's still one of our own. It's not like Zoe to go wandering. Figured she might be out scavenging, but that ain't exactly her talent. Can't imagine where she's gone. Vale's a wide place. She could be anywhere. Appreciate it. Honest. I'll tell you what I can. What is it? you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness, find a place to lay your head down and I'll fetch you a poultice. Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcomed here. Any questions, dear? I have been called that, among other things. Green Thumb, grandmother, the strange old lady who keeps flowers. But yes, Adelaide will do just fine.
Excuse me, Miss McDevitt? Sorry, it's just... You got such pretty trees in here.
Why, thank you. You're Robert's girl, aren't you? I remember when you were but a sprout. Thomas speaks of you often. Are you staying long? You should try some of my tobaccorn tea. I brew it in an old spittoon, but it's been cleaned. A home for anyone who's ever turned their backs on Edgewater. A home for those of us with nowhere left to go and nothing to lose. So, like the spores of the puffball, cast on the wind and alighting on fresh soil, we put down new roots. It is an unpleasant story, dear. But the short of it is that sometimes one wakes up and realizes the place that was once her home for much of her life has changed. The home in which we spent our lives has left us behind, and so we must move on. And that is as much as I will say on the subject. Reed Thompson? You here on behalf of that cold-eyed reptile? Let's hear it. What's Reed's idea of peace, then? Make amends. Spare me. Only thing Reed knows how to make is a mess. Like everything else that comes out of Edgewater, that peace offering is canned. I and my own are living just fine out here by ourselves. He would do such a thing. The question is, why would you agree to his plans? Cannery's got a regulator. You want ship parts, you ought to rip them out of the cannery's guts and leave us be. If you're going down to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our end of the grid. Think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious cannery. Seems the sort of thing a hero would do. trust you will listen to your conscience.
You hungry? We got canid ribs, canid flank, canid snout, too. Something I can help you with? You mean Zoe? Yeah, we were pretty close. Not like her to go loping off. Zoe was always obsessed with this serial. Masked Marketeer. A scion of Byzantium turns to banditry and teaches his marauder companions the wisdom of free market economics. Shame she up and vanished when she did. I had a surprise lined up for her. You sound like some type of corporate fixer asking all these questions. Zoe and I were gonna watch the serials, as is our custom. She never turned up. I looked around, but she was nowhere to be found. Can't say I recall Zoe ever acting strange. Well, except for her habit of writing things down on scraps of paper. She called it journaling, but I think it's just plain odd. Hey, I got time. I'll help if I can. The other day, I got my hands on a genuine copy of the latest Masked Marketeer. I was gonna surprise Zoe with it, but she was gone the next day. What do you think you're doing? Just don't make any trouble for me, okay?
Oh, that's Thomas. He used to follow me around before he left the cannery. I always wanted to poke around in here. control room should be off to the right. Hope we're doing the right thing. Where are we headed?
Beginning security patrol. Unexpected.
Incoming!
Pulp sweeping.
Incoming!
not real. You're not real. Not real. You're not real.
Mind the steam. You're liable to get scalded. Here they come! That's the last of them! Where'd they go? If we send the power to Miss McDevitt, what happens to the veil?
System. Unexpected.
Here they come!
away, Phantom! You're not real. You're not real. Go away, Phantom! You can talk?
The Phantoms never talked before. Well, I knew I shouldn't have eaten that sprat raw. See, Higgins? This is why you must always boil your sprats before ingesting. Of course. Do excuse me. I experience brief flashes of mania during which I am visited by the phantoms of my imagination. Chester D. Higgins. The D stands for definitely not insane. I use it as a reminder. Oh, Higgins has been many things over the years. Sprat Wrangler, Saltuna Critic, Aetherwave Personality, Chairman of the Board, Galactic Defender, Sisty Pig Tycoon. I've come a long way for someone who started off as a simple engineer right here in this plant. I specialized in automechanicals, drones, sentries, repaired them, maintained, upgraded, did it all from my old workroom just over in the next section. Look, I don't want to fall into any trouble with the mechanicals. If they wise up to our plans, they will come for us. With prodding irons. You know, you remind me of myself back when I was an intergalactic adventurer. I discovered a flaw. Their hostility levels were hardwired to maximum. There's no changing that, but you could rewrite their targeting protocol so they attack each other instead. Yes, that's exactly it. I see you're also versed in the noble art of mechanical engineering. There's a behavior control terminal in the other room. It should have options to change how the mechanicals act, including whom they shoot at. Oh, that reminds me. You'll need my passcode to access the behavior control terminal. Here, let me just write it down for you. The tail. Definitely start with the tail. If you're feeling adventurous, the ears are a particular delicacy. Jimmy'd opened the vending machines. That lasted a good couple of months. Eventually, I had to resort to more unconventional means of filling my insides. Braised. Boiled, charred, skewered. Sprats are good eating, friend. Chock full of brain food. I specialized in automechanicals, drones, sentries, repaired them, maintained, upgraded, did it all from my old workroom just over in the next section. Mechanicals lost their bolts, opened fire on anything that moved. It was pandemonium. I was on cleaning duty at the time. My old boss had me scrubbing pipes when the killing started. So, as usual, I missed out.
Look out! That's the last of them! Once we do this, there's no going back. Hey, mister? Look, I know you want your power regulator and all, but I just gotta ask you. Do you understand what you're about to do? I don't think you should cut off Edgewater's power. I think it would be cruel. I'm sorry. That just sort of came out all at once. Edgewater's hurting. We've been losing workers year after year, and corporate hardly ever sends replacements. There's barely enough Saltuna to fill our bellies anymore. But the town's got some good people in it. Decent, hard-working folk just living their lives the only way they know how. They don't deserve to be punished. Miss McDevitt's built something beautiful. Somehow, she's talked the ground into giving life again. It's plain to see she's made the Vale a better place. Fed the hungry, tended the sick. Gave a home to those that had none. But Miss McDevitt delights in Edgewater's suffering. She wants to hurt the town. Do you really want to be party to that kind of hatred? That sure sounds like Mr. Thompson. If he was standing here, I imagine he'd remind us of how we're all one big, happy Spacer's Choice family. In Mr. Thompson's eyes, those deserters are still part of the Spacer's Choice family. The family must work together in order to survive. I hate to say it, but I think Mr. Thompson's got a point. Unless those deserters come back, Edgewater's as good as dead. Cutting off their power might be the only way. Sorry, I didn't mean to babble on like that. I felt like I had to say something. Really? I mean, wow. Thanks. No one's ever told me those words in that order.
Oh.
Oh!
You want to know what gets my bile churning? Edgewater has suffered a cavalcade of disasters, plague, marauders, desertion. Then you wandered in town. And I was so damn sure our luck was starting to turn. I never knew how right I was. Just answer one question for me. Why'd you do it? That power regulator is company property. Whatever you were hoping to find down here, I advise you to turn around and leave. I have got guards posted with orders to fire on you. All right, easy now. Let's not do anything we'll regret. I'll order my guards to stand down. Take what you came for, and then leave us be. Stand down, all of you. We're done here.
Got my sights on you.